What's good, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. CDK, man. Sports Talk Network. I got my brother in the house already, deep free. And, man, listen, Canelo and Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? They started out having lunch with Turkey, and everything seemed like it was going to be a kumbaya, best friend type of activity. But now things have started to heat up. And I'm going to keep it 100. I was watching a show like I always do, because sometimes I think even though he don't say nothing, he watches me, a much bigger show than mine. But I noticed that, he brought up resume. And he was trying to basically downplay Canelo Alvarez's resume, which I find funny, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to call off some stuff free to you, and then I'm going to let you get into it. But I'm just going to read off some of Canelo Alvarez has faced 19 world champions already free. 19 world champions that he's faced. And when you say resume, anybody knows what resume means. It don't mean that you won the fight. A resume means the people you've got in the ring and competed against. It has nothing to do with winning the fight. It has to do with that person being on your resume. You faced that person. And Canelo Alvarez, just to name a few champions, he done faced Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, Triple G, Kovalov, Austin Trout, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Leon Smith, Daniel Jacobs, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Sanders, Caleb Plant, Caleb Plant, and Dimitri Bivol. These are all the people he's faced. Now, Bud Crawford has faced 11 champions or former world champion folks. There ain't no doubt about who has the better resume. There's no need to downplay Canelo Alvarez's resume. If you're going for Bud, just keep it real. And that's all I'm trying to do. So when you think about this free, when you talk about Canelo and Bud, because this person said their resumes were close, do you feel like their resumes is close? Can you hear me, free?
Yeah. I can hear you. Somebody keep calling my phone.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. Nah, it's nowhere near close. I mean, every time people ask Bud about his resume, he bring up the same two people. Like these guys were somebody major. Prescott
Yeah.
and Gamboa wasn't nobody major. They were decent fighters, but they were not anybody major that you hang your career on. That's not somebody that you hang your career on. Or Breeders Prescott and Gamboa. Those are not you put Breeders Prescott up there, and then you put them in the same breath as a Miguel Cotto or daggone Shane Mosley or Floyd
Yep.
Mayweather. I mean, regardless what age they were when he faced them, he faced those guys. You can't put those guys in the same sentence. Like Miguel Cotto will never be on the same level ever a Breeders Prescott or a Gamboa, regardless of how old he was when Canelo fought him. He would never be on the same level as those guys. He will always be above those guys. So I mean, even if you take those guys off, you say he faced Prescott and Gamboa. Well, Austin Trout was better than daggone Gamboa and
Yeah.
Prescott. Danny Jacobs was better than Gamboa and Prescott. So I don't even understand why he want to act like his resume is so much better than what it is. His resume is not that good. It's not even close.
I
That's
did.
like asking is Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez resume close? No, it's not
Yeah.
even close.
Mm-hmm.
Man, salute to my good brothers. Can y'all hear me? How the audio coming through?
You
Oh,
good?
your audio is great, bro. Your audio is great. And before you go, B3, I want to say this: the same guy that was bringing up these resumes yesterday, and I don't know if y'all seen this press conference with it had like an interview Shaquille O'Neal and Tom Brady along with Dana White, Canelo, and Bud Crawford, and it was funny because when Canelo said your resume sucks, basically is garbage, trash, however you want to put it, uh, he asked Bud, "Who have you faced?" And Bud said Victor Postal and Ricky Burns. And Canelo holler out, "Who? Ricky Bum?" You know what I'm saying, man? Canelo hit him with that. Ricky Bum. Canelo was basically saying, man, you have it. Stop trying to make up this resume that you so-called have. Canelo also Bud came back and said, well, guess what? I have you on my resume as an elite fighter real soon. What do you think about all this is going on, B3?
Yeah, for starters, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So I look at it like this: it's unfortunate that Earl can't be mentioned on Terrence as an elite fighter. I think people are really discrediting the win in such a tremendous fashion. And it's unfortunate. Be based on the outcome of the fight and how the state of Errol Spence, people are assuming that he was a lesser fighter at the time of the fight. So Earl would be his biggest win, of course, but he can't even mention it to Canelo in conversations is because Earl didn't get an opportunity to move up through divisions, and we only see him in one division, and when they fought, he got stopped. So outside of that win, y'all, I mean, Gamboa is really, I would say, is the next best win. That was at 135, and then that was for unification, if I'm not mistaken, or as a title defense for Bud. But either way, that was a former gold medalist. Gamboa is a top level competitor in the sport of boxing, and then. I mean, outside of that, Sean Porter would be the next one, even though, because I'm gonna say that because Sean Porter was that was a 147 fight. Sean Porter was at the end of his career, but I still feel like Sean Porter was a durable fighter. So, but in a sense that I don't believe they were comparing Bud's resume to Canelo because I don't think it's any comparison based on the Hall of Famers Canelo has fought. It's just that what the thought process is this guy, and I want to kick it back to y'all is this. Do you guys feel like Bud has fought the level of competition to prepare him for Canelo?
Go ahead, Free.
No, 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 not even close. No, and it's not the fact that we can't mention Earl Spence because I heard you said that earlier. It's not that we can't mention Earl Spence. It's the fact that he doesn't mention Earl Spence as one of the
Right.
best guys he's
100%.
faced. So if he
100%.
doesn't give him credit, I'm not going to give him credit for him. So that's his fault. He
And
don't
let
want
me
to
just
give
say this
Earl
real
Spence
quick,
credit.
Free.
That's on him.
That's I feel that's a diss Crawford, and that's what I was trying to allude to. I appreciate you saying it that way, cause it's like he almost goes out of his way not to mention Errol. It's like that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to mention him because he was built up. The fans love Earl, and he was a unified champion. He was
Yeah.
running through stuff. We all remember the Lamont Peterson fights and him her doing what he did to Ugas. And come on, man, you
But you know what?
can't.
You know what's so funny? He doesn't mention Earl, but Canelo said that's the only elite fighter you fought.
So
He said
did.
you only
So
fought, you
did.
only fought one elite fighter, and he
So
was
I
talking
didn't hear
about
the whole
Earl. He
interview.
was
So
he was
that's what Canelo said. Canelo called
Yeah, he
Earl
said you
elite.
only he said you only fought one elite fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's respect. That's respect.
Yeah.
Cause he
He,
knows.
hey, and what's crazy, Free, it takes Bud is trying so bad to hate on Earl that he's taking away and not giving himself credit for what he accomplished in that fight. Now, going back to what you said, B3, it's not that Crawford is saying anything about his resume. You got a few YouTubers that love Crawford that's trying to take away from what Canelo's fault, saying, well, if he lost to a fighter, you can't put that on his resume. That ain't what resume means. I think that's the dumbest
No,
thing to tell people. That is, hey, am I right or wrong? Is that what resume means?
no. That's what legacy means. What legacy is who you beat. The daggone your resume is the same thing. Like resume is basically what it is. It's your resume. It's where
Yep.
you have been before. When they ask you for when you go fill out a job and they say bring your resume, it's not jobs that you're currently working at. It's not jobs that you got promoted in. It's all of the jobs that you have ever worked at according that's geared towards the job that you're trying to get right now. So if you're trying to go be an electrician, you're going to put down every job you had that was geared towards electrician. Whether you exceeded in those jobs or you didn't, you're going to put down those jobs that show that you have experience in electrician. So
Yes, sir.
it's about what you have done. Not it's not about whether you got the win or losses. It's about who you shared the ring with. You shared the ring with those guys. That's on your resume. We talk about all of the fighters that Muhammad Ali fought. He didn't beat not a single fight against Ken Norton. but
Yep.
he's on his resume. That's one of
Yep.
the guys
Yep.
that he's faced. So no, it's not about who you beat. That's the legacy. The legacy goes to who you beaten, not the resume.
Yeah, definitely. And let me say this, B3. That's one thing they were saying. Another thing that came out that I noticed, man, that these guys are doing or trying to do, when they're talking about Danny Jacobs. Yesterday, I heard a guy tell his audience that Danny Jacobs was just coming off cancer when he faced Canelo, and that's a lie. Danny Jacobs have had 3 fights. You know what I'm saying? He had 3 wins. He fought Dervinchenko the fight before Canelo. That's how he got the fight with Canelo. He had 3 major wins before he even faced Canelo. So people need to stop putting that narrative out there. I heard it yesterday. I ain't gonna say the name of the person that said it, but when you got a bunch of fans that's not all hardcore boxing fans, you got a bunch of casuals too. They don't know what to say about behind stuff like that. So, what do you think about people, man, giving out this misinformation? B3.
Yeah, I think they need to be very careful with that, because what they're doing is they're going to make people not understand the sport. And at the end of the day, you can't discredit a Daniel Jacobs win. That's, I mean, Daniel Jacobs, he was a champion at 160. So, and we know he's one of the best fighters to come out of New York. I mean, y'all know that, as far as the middleweight at that weight class is concerned, for his time for him, Saddam Ali. So I mean, these guys, they need to just educate themselves on the sport a little bit more and understand, like, and this is what I look at it too with the resume piece. What we look at is, on the resume side, is when you fought the guys, what state was that at? You know what I'm saying? Were they 36-5 when you fought them? Were they 20-0 when you fought them? That type of stuff is what matters on the resume side. But like Free was saying, on the legacy side, it's just who you beat. You got that name on your resume. Canelo don't care that Canelo ain't tripping about when he fought Cotto. He got that name is on his. He's solidified with the win. You know what I'm saying? So I just think everybody gotta just really educate themselves on the sport before they lead people in a wrong direction and start like these hater talking points, like saying, like, discrediting the Daniel Jacobs win. That's you don't understand the sport of boxing. I'm gonna leave it at
Right.
that.
Mm. And like I said, Free, before you go, the guy that said this guy is one of the biggest YouTube boxing channels there is. And I mean, I know that he's going for Crawford because me and him have DM each other behind the scenes and talk. So I'm not gonna put his name out there. But it's ridiculous to tell people that type of lie, as if Danny Jacobs was just coming back off counsel and Canelo caught him, faced him, and beat him at the wrong time, or discrediting the Austin Trout fight, discrediting saying that Caleb Plant ran out of gas. Uh, Free. Is this Canelo Alvarez fault? You know what I'm saying? If Caleb Plant runs out of gas or he beats these guys, I mean, is this his fault?
My bad, my bad. No, that's not his fault. When, the same way it's not Bud Crawford fault that Earl Spence wasn't 100%.
Right.
That's not his fault. When you get in that ring, whatever issues you got, you should have dealt with it before you got in that ring. If you didn't deal with it, it's going to show in that ring. So it's not their fault. Now it's whether you put up a valid a hell of a fight prior to you gassing out. Credit to you. But once you gassed out, it was all she wrote. Same thing when it come to Earl. Earl was running through everybody, but when he got in the ring with Bud, he wasn't 100%. Some say that's not Bud's fault. Bud did what he was supposed to do. You got in the ring, you wasn't 100%. Oh well, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And you wasn't 100%. Shouldn't have got in the ring.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree with that. Now, a lot of people are also saying that Bud Crawford is showing Canelo too much respect. It's like he's not giving off that same energy that he gave off with Earl Spence and prior fighters. Do you think he's showing uh Canelo Alvarez too much respect? How do y'all feel about it?
I'm
No,
gonna
I
say,
don't. I don't. Go ahead, B3. I'm typing. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I think you have to show your opponent a certain level of respect. I like you saying I don't it's early. Like Turkey was saying, he was right. It's really early. It's the fight is what about 3 months out.
Yeah,
So because we about to be in July, so we got full month of July, full month of August, then September 13th. So yeah, so we about almost 3 months out, a little less than 3 months. So with that being said, you don't want to work yourself up. You still want to be calm. Crawford is a professional. He done this before. So he gave, and even his attempt when they had the face off, he pushed back on Canelo. He let Canelo know, hey, listen, your body weight ain't pushing me back. My body's gonna push you back. I'm strong. Like I'm in here with you. Like was really good. So he pushed Canelo back so far that Canelo had to respond with a push. So all that tells me is that that Crawford is not backing down from Canelo. He doesn't feel like Canelo is all that bigger than him and stronger than him, and he's ready to stay in there and fight Canelo. Really, I don't think he's going to be doing a whole bunch of excessive moving. I do think he will be utilizing the ring, being a professional in the sport.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Go ahead, Free.
Um, I don't know if he's showing him too much respect. I think Bud showed everybody pretty much the same amount of respect, unless it was somebody like a Jose Benavidez or whatever, somebody that he really just don't like them, and they got into it outside of the ring. But Jose Benavidez might have been the only one that I really seen him go at anybody like that. I mean, him and Earl, they went back and forth, but it was pretty
Yeah,
respectful. So I don't think it's anything far as too much respect or not enough disrespect. I think that's just what he is. He's confident in himself, and he has that type of aura around him. That I'm confident. I believe I can beat him or whatever have you, and we'll find out once they get in the ring.
yeah, definitely. I agree,
One of the
and I
things,
love
let me
some.
say this real quick, CDK. Crawford is a man of God at the end of the day. So like he understands that he's a representation when he's out in public. So he's leading by example 9 times out of 10 every time he step in public.
Yeah, he definitely is, and I love what he said though, man. When they asked him about the running part, or are you gonna be running, or what do you think about what Turkey said? And I love the fact that he stood on it and said, "Nobody's gonna tell me how to box when I've been boxing all my life." I had the utmost respect for what he was saying right there. Like, you're not gonna make me do what you want me to do. I'm gonna fight the way I fight, but I'm not gonna be running. He said the only thing I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head all night. Now, with him saying that, do y'all believe that Crawford will be running upside his head all night? Free, you can
I
start.
don't, I don't, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what we're waiting for September to come for. I don't know. He could. He has the longer arm reach. He should be, but Canelo Alvarez is is a very experienced fighter, and see that's where it kind of evens itself out. You have a more skilled fighter, what some would say, Bud is more skilled than Canelo, and then you have another fighter who's much more experienced, far as the bigger moment, the different styles that he faced. So it kind of cancel itself out because you would think that Bud would be able to run up aside Canelo's head, but it's not like Canelo hasn't faced longer fighters before. I mean, he fought Callum Smith, and he had a heck of an arm reach and height reach
yeah,
advantage over Canelo Alvarez, and that didn't have no effect on Canelo whatsoever. So it all depends on how it's going to go down when you get in the ring with that individual because you can be taller, longer, smaller, faster, more skilled. All that goes out of the window when those punches start flying. If you're not ready for that moment, it is what it is.
B3. You there, B3?
Yeah, I'm here, CDK. Running back. What's the question again?
Bud Crawford he hollered out and said The only running he gonna be doing is running
Oh, he's gonna
upside
have quite a
Canelo.
bit.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I don't feel like Crawford is gonna be excessively punching in the fight, but like you said, we gotta wait and see. I don't think he's gonna be, uh, you know, overly punching. You see what I'm saying? I think he'll be filling out Canelo more, trying to put the stab jab to the body, move around Canelo, and then look for the occasional big shot. But really, I wouldn't advise Crawford to um, have too much activity in the sense that early, like I think he's gonna fill him out, of course, and then he's gonna do damage late. So I think it's gonna be a tale of two halves type of fight. Do I think he's gonna be bloody and beat up Canelo? No. Like I was talking about the other night, the comparing it to the Bivol fight and Bivol, and I think people kind of, because Crawford is such a standout athlete, you comparing a Crawford to a Bivol, people automatically lean Crawford. But you have to take into account they in a square circle. So with the footwork and the ability of Bivol as the bigger man to offset Canelo's movement, keeping that jab on him consistently, I think with Crawford's ability to switch, and he definitely has the speed advantage on Canelo, and he may even have, dare I say, he may have the power advantage. What say y'all?
Uh, I don't believe he has the power
I don't
advantage.
think so.
No, I don't think he has the power advantage. I think that Canelo has the better chin, the better power. That's the two things that I think. Canelo himself already said in the interview that he felt like Bud was the better boxer. He said that's not gonna matter because it basically comes down to what Free said. Once the punches get to flying, everything changes in the ring. So I definitely agree with Free on that. Now, I won't say this right here. I've been paying attention and it's crazy, man. This week right here, I've been going back looking at Canelo Alvarez fights, looking at a lot of his fights. I'm gonna say this, and this has come from me personally. Canelo Alvarez has had a problem with fighters that move for a long time. Uh, I never thought about this, and so I'm gonna ask y'all: do y'all believe Canelo Alvarez has a real problem cutting off the ring? And I'm gonna give you my answer now, so I ain't gotta even come behind y'all and say this, Paul. I think he definitely has a problem cutting off the ring. What do y'all think?
Um,
That's a Go ahead,
I
Free.
don't know. I don't know if he has a problem cutting off the ring. I
Yes,
think
sir.
I think he allows his opponent to burn a lot of energy so they can be right there at the end of the
Okay.
fight. At the later rounds, now they're more of standing targets. I think he has that David Benavidez effect where he's going to come at you and he's going to make you tire yourself out. I don't think it because when you have a guy that's just doing a bunch of excessive moving and you're trying to cut the ring off, you're using a lot of energy trying to cut the ring off as well. So I think
Mm-hmm.
he allows his opponent to to move around and burn all that energy. So when it gets to those later rounds, now he can literally put the punches together, and there's nothing that you can really do about it because you know burnt yourself out trying to stay away from him early.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What
a
you
hundred
think, Big Free?
percent. That's 100% facts. And but a lot of times, what it is in strategy, you got to think of that 3 minutes in that round as well. Like, if a guy is excessively moving, in the back half of that 3 minutes, he's going to tie it down. He's going to have opportunities to get him on the ropes. Now, with Crawford, we understand he has a supreme elite conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So he never lingers on the ropes. We never see him sitting on the ropes taking shots. Arrow was able to land a few shots. Of course, he gets hit in exchanges because he's a mid-range fighter. But I think that he'll have opportunities to. And even Canelo said that he was a better fighter than Mayweather. Correct? Is that the reports? I didn't hear it specifically, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, but
asking.
I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into
Okay,
that.
we're gonna get. Okay, we'll get into that. Well, I'll just say this. I just feel like Crawford's defensive abilities, and like you saying, his foot movement, Canelo is gonna have trouble cutting the ring off. We saw in the William Skull fight that Canelo had a lot of trouble cutting the ring off, and I mean some of the judges were giving Skull rounds. So somebody, um, and then, like, we also got to look at it like this. He wasn't able to pin down and stop Berlanga, Munguia, John Ryder. So Canelo has shown that he's been showing a plotting style where he throws big shots, big hooks, big overhand rights. But if you can offset him with movement and a jab, I think that's Crawford's key to success. Just offset him with a movement and a jab. Don't look for the knockout and just box him for the win.
Pride, what's good, my brother?
Peace, peace, peace to the panel. Peace to my brothers. What's going on with
Go
y'all?
ahead.
What's good,
Just
family? What's
chilling,
good,
bro.
bro?
What you got to add? What you want to add to this?
Um, it's gonna be a tough fight for Crawford, man. I mean, Canelo gonna be big, but like Terrence is pretty strong for himself too, though. So, but I think like what Three said, if Terrence go and just boxing, jab up, keep turning them, typical things you do to Mexican fighters: box them, jab them, move, turn them. Keep that stick in their face. And I think Crawford can beat him based off of Canelo's last performance. I don't want to talk about what he did to Cotto and Trout and all them. That was in the past. Based
Right.
off his last performance,
Hmm.
he couldn't do nothing with Skull, man. And Skull was, I mean, he was moving.
Prize. This the specific question right here. Do you feel like Canelo has trouble cutting the ring off?
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I do, but he used to cut the ring off good. Like I thought he cut the ring off good. I think it was Rocky Fielding. I know that sounds crazy, but I think he cut
Yeah.
the ring off good in that fight. But I can't remember.
But
It was one of them fights. I thought he had it, but then you go get in there with William Skull, you can't do anything. That's why I said if
yeah,
you
you know the
keep
different Pride.
turning. What's
Not
that?
cutting you off.
No, you good.
So you think about Laura, and I was going back at certain fights like that, looking at people that I call athletes, and
Hmm.
even Caleb Plant early. You can see like those guys that can move. Those are fights that I looked at because I know Crawford has that type of footwork. So that's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all didn't know that, but that's what I basically was looking at. I was looking at those fights.
Yeah, like somebody like Islandi Lar, he couldn't do nothing with Lar, and Lar kept doing the same thing, turning them straight right hands, or was it straight
Yeah.
left hands, or whatever. He was just landing the same punch over and over and over again. He
The,
didn't
the
engage a lot though, but you know how they gonna give it to Canelo, so Terrence gonna have to let his hands fly a little bit.
the only difference though with those guys that he fought that he had issues with them moving or we felt like he didn't cut the ring off enough.
Yeah,
The major difference is those guys was fighting at their natural fight weight. Bud is
right.
moving up 3 weight classes. So
Mm.
I don't
And
know if Bud is going to be able to move around the ring like that. And if he does, how would his stamina be now that he's moving a lot more at a bigger weight class? Because the Bud that we've seen as of late haven't been moving around the ring. He's pretty
you're
much
right.
been standing right there in front of you. He might take a step to the side here and there, but for the most part, he's standing pretty much right there in front of you. So I don't know if he's going to be moving around the ring like that.
You're right. You're right,
I wonder.
Free.
I
And
wonder
that's a
what
great
Terrence
point.
walk around. What's his walk around weight? I'd
But
be
this
real
this is the
curious.
thing of prior that I tried to tell somebody the other day about walk around weight, and I know this from experience. You can walk around at a certain weight, but fighting and walking around are two different things. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're not used to fighting at 168, it's a different when you got to move around when you actually
And
moving.
y'all, 100% CDK. Y'all correct me if I'm
What I'm
wrong.
saying?
Didn't Crawford post a 190 on the scale or something like that? Didn't y'all see this?
I think it was 180. I thought it was 180. I know it was.
Yeah, it was like 183 or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly what it was, Free. 183. Now, walking around it that way is one thing. but feeling good at that weight is another. And he's been so used to fighting that we're not gonna say he had one fight at 154. So at the end of the day, I'm saying he's coming up 3 weight classes basically to take on Canelo, somebody who's been settled in at this weight for a long time now. Uh, I'm interested in seeing how he moves. Is he gonna be able to sustain that movement for 12 rounds? Is he gonna fight like Free said, like he been fighting? Moving just a little bit. I think he's gonna have to change his whole game plan up. We say that he's still really for a long time now. So the question do y'all think that he really needs to now change old Crawford? Do y'all think he's gonna win this fight? Can you hear me, Free?
So, no, I didn't hear the question. Say the question again.
Like Crawford is basically now. He rarely switches. But do you believe in this fight right here? He's gonna need to do all that in order to get victory. Like go back to the old Crawford, really switching and stuff.
Um, do I think he needs to? Probably not. I think if Crawford is having success, it's at a
Y'all hear
distance.
me? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I can hear you. I think if Crawford is having success, it's at a distance. Um, because he has the longer arm reach. Um, I don't think he needs to do a lot of movement. I don't think he needs to do a lot of switch on any of that. And to be honest with you, I don't think he has it in him like he did when he was younger. That Crawford is
me,
going to be like 38 years old when this fight happens.
yeah,
So he's getting closer and closer to 40. So the things that he was doing when he was at 140 and 135 pounds is getting harder for him to be able to continue doing that. So I don't know if if he got it in him to do that again. But even if he does, I don't think he needs to. I just think he needs to be smart about whatever he does.
mm. What do you
Yeah,
think, Prize?
and I don't. I mean, I say yeah, bring everything out of the toolbox to try to confuse Canelo much as possible. Show him different angles. Pardon me. Keep turning them jab, run that jab down the middle. You know, keep turning them. Don't stand in front of in front of Canelo too long. And I know y'all. I know a lot of people is worried about the weight or whatever, but I feel like this. Canelo ain't the biggest super middleweight anyway. He's not the biggest super middleweight. So I feel like he'd be all right. Terrence probably coming there at 168, 165, something like that. Feeling real good. I still think he'll be quick on his feet. I still think he's gonna be fine. He's a super
Okay,
athlete, man. He can wrestle, he can box, he can brawl. I mean, he can do whatever. You know what I mean, strong. One of them country strong brothers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all from the country boys, y'all know I'm talking about. He one of them good country South Southern brothers. Don't get it twisted. And I just don't think Canelo, based off their last performance, I know Terrence didn't have the best performance against Majimov. He didn't. Majimov be tricky for anybody. Virgil beat him up, but I mean, whatever. Styles make fights. So I feel like that Terrence will be fine as long as he don't stand in front of Canelo too long. We have seen him hurt by like Gamboa hurt him bad. And Gamboa is not no bigger puncher than Canelo, so just don't stand in front of him. You stand in front of Gamboa too much. Once you get him, once you loosen him up, soften him up, then go for it if that's what happened. But I feel like he should do everything. Bring switch lefty to righty, do everything. Box, throw some brawl, had Canelo completely confused.
B3.
What's the original question, CDK?
You made me forget.
Does he
Do
need
Basically,
to
you
what
think?
switch?
Do
Does he
you
need to?
you
Yeah,
think?
Fareed.
Do you think Bud Crawford needs to do what he done earlier in his career as far as switching, moving around the ring, things like that? Do you think he
No
needs to
problem.
do all that to beat Canelo?
I don't know about switching, but I definitely think he needs to. I would like him out of the southpaw stance. Um, that's what I would prefer. Just to offset him. But I think Crawford has a better jab out the southpaw stance as well. So Let me came into a store. Let me go off. Let me go on mute real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely believe that. I kind of agree with Free. I don't know if he's able to do what he used to do as far as movement, being able to move around the ring. I don't know if he still has that. He's gonna be 38, like Free said, going into this fight, man. 38 years old. He's actually older than Canelo Alvarez. Now we know Canelo's had more fights. You know what I'm saying? More wear and tear. But I don't know. I think Canelo comes in from what I heard. Free Canelo probably comes in. Canelo comes in around 180 himself on fight night. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be a small super middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Prize. He's going to have some weight on him. I don't know if Crawford is going to be able to blow up to 180 and still be able to move. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have to probably come in around maybe 170, 171. Try to come in around that weight to be able to be agile. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree with that, Free?
Yeah, I mean, Crawford's gonna blow up if he gets on what on the scale weigh in the day of the weigh in. He gets on the scale and he's at 165, 166. When it comes fight night, Crawford's gonna be somewhere around 175, close to 180. He's gonna blow up. I mean, it just human nature. You're gonna blow up. He because he's gonna eat. He's going to be drinking. He already weighed in, so now he don't have to put his body through that the make weight. So now he's going to go back to eating and whatever. So he's going to probably come in fight night somewhere around 175, 180 himself. That's why I said I don't know if he's going to be able to handle that weight. We're looking at 168. 168 is just a weigh-in. We're talking about the extra weight when it comes fight night because fight night is when I mean, from the time that he weigh in till the actual fight night, he's going to be rehydrating. So he's
Yeah.
going to blow up. And he's not going to be in the gym working like he was working to get ready for the fight. He might hit the pads here and there or whatever have you, but he's not going to be in the gym. They're going to be in Vegas um, out eating, getting his body replenished because he had to cut weight because he showed that he was at 183. He had to cut weight to make sure he made 168. And now he's gonna be okay. We made weight. Let's go grab something to eat or whatever. He might go jump some rope a little bit or hit the pads, but he ain't gonna be in there sparring and bouncing around the ring or nothing like that. He's gonna be in a hotel resting, getting ready for the fight the next day.
Canelo, how much he outweighed Floyd by? That was a big weight difference.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah,
Uh,
I
at
think it was
54.
like,
That was at 54
yeah,
though.
it was like, I
but
think like a 16, 17 pound weight difference, I believe. But,
yeah,
Now we
oh,
also
getting
got to
into,
we
let me say this, B3. Let me hold on
okay.
one sec. Let me say this because we're going to jump into the Floyd thing. Now, we heard Canelo say that Bud Crawford's a better fighter. I can't agree with that. One, I know what he's doing. He's trying to, make it seem like, hey, I'm gonna be beating a better fighter than Floyd. When I fought Floyd, I was young. This is what he's trying to do. Better defensive fighter than Floyd. We definitely know Bud Crawford is not a better defensive fighter than Floyd. They don't even have the same style of defense. You rarely see Floyd get caught with a good shot the way we've seen Crawford get caught with good shots. So, do y'all agree with that statement when he says Bud Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather? Whoever wants to start.
I mean, if he believes
that's
that
crazy.
Bud Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather, then he might as well just go ahead and hand his belts over to Bud because we saw what Floyd did. If you think that Bud is a better fighter than Floyd, Floyd beat the brakes off of you. So what are you really
So,
saying? What are you really saying? So I mean, no, he's not.
I
He
know
just
what he's still saying, D3. He's still salty. That's what it is.
no.
yeah,
It's he wants to get credit for beating somebody with the level of Floyd.
that's it.
He want to say that Bud Crawford is better than Floyd, so he can at least get the credit of beating somebody that's on that level. But no, everybody with a right mindset know that Bud Crawford is not a better boxer or defensive fighter than Floyd. Now, of course, you're gonna have his fan base. They're gonna say, "Oh, no, he's better than Floyd. This, and that." But once again, all you got to do is look at the resumes. It's not even close.
Yeah, I agree with D3.
Mm-hmm. B3, what do you think about it?
Now, I didn't want to lose that thought about the weight piece. So, for instance, like with Crawford rehydrating, right? I mean, when he was cutting the 47, of course, this it's a cap on what you can gain. But let's say, for instance, he is with Snack. I guess we can, use hyperbole and say his body, his frame, his 5'9" frame. More than likely, he's probably regaining 25 to 30 pounds before those fights. Now, I don't know what the science would be for him and his rehydration after weighing in at 167 because I don't think he's going to overcut. We always look, even like Jamel, where everybody was like, oh, yeah, Jamel should come in at 165. Jamel came in at almost pretty much 167, or pretty much 168 almost. So I don't think these dudes is gonna overcut if they don't have to. I just hope that like free like what you're saying, the science behind the rehydration is going to be key because now instead of him maybe putting in and fighting at 163, at when he fights at 147, he might fight at 165, 168, maybe 170. Now he's gonna be fighting at he possibly could be fighting at 180, you know what I'm saying? 181, 179, something like that. So that's the thing that they gotta be mindful of, for sure with that weight. Because like you're
Okay,
saying,
and
Pre, that's probably gonna be like it could be a 12 to 13 pound difference from what Crawford is used to.
yeah, definitely. Then the other question I had, what was it free? Be, I can't remember what the question
Do
was
you
again.
think that? Do you think that Canelo believes that Bud is a better fighter than Floyd?
I don't believe. I think he's doing that to sell the fight. Because how could you discredit his resume and then say he's better than Floyd when you see Floyd has the greatest resume, pretty much, and he beat you? Maybe not the greatest. That was tongue in cheek, but he has one of the best resumes, and he beat you. So you can't
Yeah, I definitely think that he's selling the fight. I don't believe that he believes that Crawford is on Floyd's level. Whether or not, what I'm saying? One thing about it, Canelo is definitely an older fighter now. Crawford is definitely an older fighter. We seen how Crawford looked against Madrimov, but I'm gonna go beyond that. I want to get into some other stuff, and what I want to get into is this. I know y'all seen a few of the press conferences, and you seen the way that the crowd was Mexico this, Mexico that. Now they always give credit for backing Canelo. Will y'all or will you be free backing Canelo or backing Crawford because of that situation and saying, okay, I'm asking a real question because he's a black fighter. Will you be backing him? How do you feel about that?
I'm not backing him because he's a black fighter. I'm backing him because I don't like Canelo. I think Canelo's a duck, and I think
Yeah,
he should have fought David Benavidez. So that's the reason why I'm rooting for Bud. I believe Canelo is going to win the fight, but I'm rooting for Bud. I hope Bud pulls out the upset because I think Canelo ducked David Benavidez, and he's taking the Bud Crawford fight because it's a big payday and it's an easier fight than fighting David Benavidez. So that's the reason why I'm rooting for Bud. But I still
yeah,
believe that Canelo is going to win.
definitely. Okay. What about you, B3? What are you backing Bud Crawford for the simple fact that he's black, or are you backing Canelo?
Yeah, so let me say this, as B3 Boxing picks, B3 picks me as an entity, I love to stay neutral and stay unbiased.
Yeah,
But me, like, for instance, I have to evaluate it off of what I see. And the foot speed, the pedigree of Crawford, I think that he's at that level with Canelo. I do believe Canelo is slowing down. I feel like he has a lot of wear and tear on his body. So I'm looking at it from that perspective.
come on, don't start. And
I don't know what's going on with
Me as a
B3.
person, like I support, I like
yeah,
to see
you
it
breaking up
and
bad,
prospering
B3.
and things like
Yeah, you breaking up
B3,
bad.
okay.
B3, get out of the
Go
dang
ahead.
utility
Go ahead.
closet and go in your office.
Yeah, cause you breaking up bad, man.
What's
I
going
couldn't
on,
catch nothing.
Thomas?
What's good? What's good, my brother Thomas? Hold on 1 second. Let me drop the link if you want to come up or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Thomas
definitely
probably at work. Yeah, he probably
yeah,
at
he
work.
might be at work. He might be at work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like you free. I feel like Canelo possibly pulls off the victory, but I'm bagging Crawford because I feel like they always say us as black people can't get, you know what I'm saying, can't root for each other. Like, and they almost act like it's a sin or it's almost being racist when we decide that we want to back one of our fighters. They try to put that on us and try to make us feel bad at times about bagging Bud because yeah, he's a black fighter, but he's also from this country. He's also an American. You know, Canelo Alvarez from Mexico. We see how they get behind Canelo Alvarez, how they ride with him, and it was like Bud Crawford was almost in hostile territory when he was at the press conference, and I didn't really like it. And I really want Bud. You know, that's why I'm really backing Bud. I'm not even gonna lie about it. That's why I'm going for him. I hope he does pull off the upset. We need to see him go in there and do the things it takes to pull off the upset. And
Yes,
I also agree with Free when he said David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez ducked David Benavidez. He keeps making up excuses. I heard him say, well, this is the bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe if David Benavidez and Canelo fight, there's gonna be a major, major fight. But I think it's gonna take, like he said, $200 million to even get this man in the ring. So with that being said, Free, do you think we'll ever see the David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez fight?
Well, according to Turkey, I think he wants that to be the last fight. I think he's gonna fight the Bud Crawford fight, and then he's gonna fight. Turkey wants them to fight uh, Shiraz, and then I think Turkey wants to make the David Benavidez fight. Because I think he wants Shiraz to get a shot at those belts because he believes Shiraz is going to beat Edgar Berlanga, which I believe he's going to beat Edgar Berlanga as well. But he believes that Shiraz is going to beat Edgar Berlanga, and then he wants to give Shiraz a shot at those belts, and then he wants to make the David Benavidez fight. So I think we possibly can get it. It's just a matter of how the cards are going to play, because I'm trying to figure out how he's going to make that fight if he said he only had 18 months left in the sport of boxing, and you're running low on time because Canelo only fights twice a year. He fight on
Yep.
both of the Mexican holidays, and that's it. So you're kind of running short on time because you're about to fight in September. You're not going to make another fight for Canelo until um, next year because he's most likely not going to fight again this year if he's fighting in September. They're not going to make a fight in December. I don't remember the last time Canelo fought in December. I have to go back and look at his resume. I don't even remember the last time Canelo fought in December. So he won't be fighting again until somewhere around March or May.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. So it's gonna be definitely hard to make the fight. It can possibly happen. David Benavidez has to continue winning, and I think he will do that. I definitely want to see what happens. But let's say this right here: Turkey has came out and said he's gonna make Tank Davis an offer he can't refuse. I don't know if you heard that or not. In order for him to fight Shakur Stevenson, do you believe that he's gonna offer Tank enough to make that fight happen?
The problem is it doesn't matter how much he offered Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a loyalty individual. He's big on loyalty, and he said whatever Al Heyman says whatever Al Heyman suggests to him, that's what he's going to follow. So if he makes something that Al Heyman agrees to and say, "Yay, that's a good bag for you," or that's a good fight for you, then that's what Tank Davis is going to do. He's not going to go against what Al Heyman is saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I definitely believe that if Turkey wants to make this happen, he's gonna have to really go to Al first, get with Al, tell
I
Al
mean,
what he's
because
willing to put on
if
Tank.
that was the case, it's one of two things. Either he wasn't really big on the fight with Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis, or the Devin Haney and Tank Davis. Because if you was going to offer him a bag that he couldn't refuse, why you haven't offered it yet?
Mm.
why is it? Why are you waiting so long to offer it?
Yeah, I agree with that. And it seems like it's taking a long time. And so it's almost in a sense like he's saying that he knows that what's his name, Edgar Berlinga's gonna lose, and he knows that Zapater's gonna lose. He's kind of like he's already, you know what I'm saying these guys are gonna be out the way, and we're gonna move on to the next episode. So I feel like, do you feel like Turkey feels like that those guys are gonna lose? Like he's pretty sure Zapater's gonna lose and Berlinga's gonna lose.
I don't know if he feel like they're gonna lose or if he's gonna ensure that they lose. I don't know which one it is. I just know it just seems a little funny. Just seems a little funny. You got both of these guys. You got Shakur. You got Bud Crawford. They both are part of your stable right now. Um, well, for the most part, Bud is a part of the stable. And you're talking about what the plans is for Canelo in the future, but we didn't hear no talk about what's the plans for Bud in the future.
You're right
We
about that.
we,
We
we
haven't
haven't
read
we
any
haven't
about it
heard
like
any talk about Bud plans for the future. We just heard about what plans he had for Canelo in the future.
that. You know what? And I don't. I would like to know what's next for Bud Crawford if he gets. Now, I would assume that there is a rematch clause in place for Canelo Alvarez. I'm 100%. I'm just gonna go on the limb and say I'm 100% sure if Bud was to beat Canelo, there would be a rematch.
I
That's
mean,
big
more
business
more
I
right
was
there.
likely it
hearing
will
that
be.
it wasn't one.
Now,
Um,
I heard it was. I heard that Canelo has a what's his name, a rematch clause in there because he has like Free was just coming up with. He has like I forgot what the how many fights he has playing with
he got four
Turkey.
he got four fights with Turkey, so he
Yeah.
already fought one with the William Skull. This one with
Hmm.
Bud will be the second fight. He has two more fights left.
Yeah. That's what I heard right there. And I heard that there is a rematch clause in place for him if he was possibly to lose. One, because he would be losing the undisputed championship prize, you know what I'm saying? Uh I think though that would be great. But the thing is, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think if Crawford was able to pull off the victory that he would be willing to do it again?
Man, Crawford ain't doing that shit again. Crawford ass is gonna hit the motherfucking road. He gonna hit the ground running. That man gonna retire.
What do you think, Pride? Pride, you there? I
Yeah, I'm
guess
sorry.
Pride.
I was on mute. My fault. What'd you say?
If Crawford was able to get this victory,
Yeah, yeah.
do you think that he would be willing to do it again?
I mean, if the money right, he might. But I'm kind of leaning with Free. If he win this fight, I see him going out and be like, man, I ain't fighting no more. He gonna get the big crazy payday. It will be on Netflix, and
Yeah,
I can. I'll say it'll be 70-30, 70% that he won't fight no more, and 30% if the money's right.
yeah, I agree with that. I think like I'm like Free. He's getting $50 million for this fight. I don't think why do you need to fight again? $50 million is a lot of money to get for one fight. Canelo's getting 70. I don't know if there's gonna be any back end money. I know Turkey likes to pay up front, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand, you know what I'm saying, what he would do next. But I think he walks away. I think he walks away into the sunset. And I don't know what Market Dan is talking about. Free and CDK combined is close to 200 years old. But the crazy part is Free and CDK still look better than you.
Yeah, that was
And you,
crazy.
Exactly.
yeah, look better than you, in better shape than you. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Every,
The problem
everything
is,
about us,
see, we,
yeah,
we we still we still look good for our age. You look like you our age already, and you ain't number 25.
That's
Man, you
crazy.
better get out that sun in them daggone sugar cane fields. I know your
yeah.
daggone the back of your neck burning right now.
You look like a wrinkled billfold in the face. You need to get it together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it look like a wrinkled billfold. You know what I'm saying? How old is you? 20,
He 25.
25, and look
Shit,
like he been wearing
that nigga at least 40.
look like he been hitting the face with a bamboo stick all his life.
That's
Man,
crazy. Shout out Marky Dan.
That man.
Shout out to Market Dan, my brother, man. I'm just my brother
That
Market
man
Dan,
Market
man.
Man, like he been sitting there shaving the back of his feet off. That's what he need to do. Get that crust up off of him. You know they be sitting there
You in
walking.
your
They
you in your
feel that
prime,
callus on
Market
the
Dan.
bottom of their feet.
You the 25. You in your prime, and you the 25-year-old virgin. Man,
He
yeah,
said he
you in
is a
your
25-year-old version.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you in your prime, all right. You over there, where you in the Virgin Islands? Where you at?
Yeah, I believe so.
You over there in the Virgin Islands and
Yeah,
still ain't
he in
got
the
a
Virgin
woman.
Islands. Yeah, he in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
nice
I
over there,
mean,
man.
you know, the
Yeah, it's
Virgin
nice
Island
over
for
there.
the Virgin Island for virgins. You know, that's what Market Dan is.
he the only single man in the whole over there in the whole Virgin Islands.
That's crazy.
Market Day. It'll be all right though, Mark. You'll get it together sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? I wish you the best, brother. I want you to have all the things in life you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't mad at you. Me and Free ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Where you been at? Anyway, where Market Dan been at? I ain't seen him in a while.
He been doing his thing. He been around.
Okay, he been around.
He been working. It just
He working.
yeah, you just know when Marky Dan working is never know what happens.
Yeah. They trying to borrow. They really want to borrow him from YouTube. They trying to borrow him from YouTube. They tired of him. Yeah, but he all right with me.
That
You know
man,
what I'm saying?
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
tough.
moving on, Market Dan. I just wanted to stop and get that in for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold it up too long. Free. When
Yo,
y'all gonna do this football? When y'all doing y'all football show?
today at 6:30, I'm actually putting the last bit of touches on this daggone joint. I'm probably gonna have to go through my. Yeah, I'm gonna do it that way. I'm not even worried about that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing it today at 6:30. Man, we will be live. I put the link in the chat. I sent the link in the WhatsApp. So if you want to come up, you can come up. We're gonna. I was thinking about doing 2 divisions today. I might cut it down to 1 because last week we did. I mean, the week before last we did 2 divisions, and that joint was crazy. I was like, God, dog, this joint long as a mo. We gotta do another 4 more teams. So, I mean,
Now you ain't coming up.
we
You
only
ain't
got
coming up,
what
Market
3
Dan.
divisions. I mean, we only got 2 divisions left.
Okay, 2 divisions left.
So
Yeah,
we
let's
did
do.
the
I want them to
NFC
come
East.
up.
Yeah, we did the NFC East. We did the AFC North. Oh no, we didn't do the AFC North. We did the NFC East, the NFC South, the AFC South. Matter of fact, I got it right here. I don't even know why I'm looking at it. Why I'm trying to guess. We did
Hey, let me give you a little advice, Market Dan. In order to
the
become a
North.
boss, you gotta stop worrying about a boss.
We did the
Real
AFC
talk.
North and the NFC North. The AFC North, NFC North, and the NFC East. Now we about to do the AFC West, the NFC West, and then we will only have the AFC East left. That's the only division we will have left.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
I might break it down. I might do 1 division today and not do 2. I might do 1 because it's gonna I'm gonna need something to talk about for the rest of the daggone month. We got a whole month before training camp starts.
That's right. That's right. Market Dan still down there talking. I don't know what he on, man. I'm tired of it. He's ridiculous. But in order to become a boss, Market Dan, like I said,
I'm gonna come
you
up
got,
and speak my facts. This nigga
well, I don't
Marky
know what
Dan,
facts. I don't know what facts you gonna speak.
the
I
only
know
facts
is
that Marky Dan can speak is the fact that he lives in the Virgin Islands and he's the head foreman for the sugarcane field.
that's it. That's it. That's all he got to say. Like I told him, in order to become a boss, you got to stop worrying about a boss. You understand what I'm saying, Market Dan? You can't become a boss, you know what I'm saying, watching me and Free all the time. You got to get out and become a boss. One day,
Yeah.
it'll happen. If you stop worrying about us,
Yeah.
you'll be
I
okay with
mean,
yourself.
you can't worry about a boss and you still in a employee's position.
Right.
You can only worry about a boss when you are a boss. That's when you're looking at the other competition. But when you're an employee, you worried about are you going to get a promotion?
Yeah. So live. Man, you done now you work your way up in the sugar cane fields. You did work your way up. We'll give you credit for that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
didn't need to worry about can you keep your job to next week? You made it through last week. Can you keep it till next week?
Yeah. They gave him a penny raise. He went from 11.95 to 11.96. Yeah,
11.95 to 11.96.
yeah, they gave him a penny raise. Hey, man, he coming on. He
He
moving
thought
up in the world.
they said we giving you a raise. He thought he was about to move out of the new tax bracket. He was like,
Yeah, they
man, they gave me a penny.
gave him a penny raise. Morgan Dan got a penny
You
raise, man. He happy with it though.
you got a penny raise. You almost made it to the next bracket, but you didn't meet the quota. They said they
No, you
needed
didn't meet the quota.
275,000 sugar canes per week. You gave them 270 sugar canes per week. They needed 275,000. You only gave them 270,000. So you
Yeah,
didn't meet the quota.
man, they gonna come and take. They already letting them rent out that hut. They gonna come take that hut from him. He been renting that. Yeah, the company. You know, when you work for the sugar cane company, they give you a hut to live in. Let you live in a hut. So he been in that hut for a little while now. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna take that hut. Every time he do something wrong, they take about 3 or 4 of them sugar cane, takes off the hut. The rain
I
already
mean,
coming through.
you move to New York, Thomas might be able to get you a job. You know, Thomas a boss. That nigga Thomas
Yeah, he
he
a
be
boss.
killing it. Now he a
He
boss.
boss there. You know what I'm saying?
I can see Thomas
BBO a
now
boss.
like
We might talk to BBO. We might talk to BBO about you know what I'm saying, helping you get away from over there.
I can see Thomas now telling Marky Dan, hold up, no, you gotta shut up and listen. You can't keep talking. I'm trying to show you how to do the shit. You just keep talking. You're like, come on, old man, I know what I'm doing. All right. I'm gonna fire you the same way I gave you the job, the same way I'm gonna get rid of you.
And Mark and Dan, I seen that picture of you the other day, and you had them 6 rings on. You know, ain't nobody wearing no dang 6 rings. I seen,
Oh
you know,
Lord.
yeah, he had
Oh
them 6
Lord.
rings on. Man, I don't know what he was doing. 6 rings, man. You had on 5 different Jordans at one time.
Oh.
We finna get out of
Oh
here, Mark
Lord.
and Dan. We finna get out of here, man. We love you, man. But like you said the show come on what time, Free?
6:30 Eastern Standard Time, so it'd be 5:30 your time.
5:30 my time. I'll be there, man. This
All right.
CDK Sports Talk Network, and we out. Peace.
Peace.